Welcome to Elvis Fans Matter. We got a few little question and answer
Tidbits.
things here, tidbits. Somebody had asked something, but I done my research, and I actually come up with
The right answer.
the right answer. And this is it. All I know is the fact
That I don't
that I
know.
don't know.
That's funny.
No.
Elvis used to have all those kind of sayings.
Yeah.
And one of them was, actually Danielle used this in her, she was valedictorian in her graduating class, and she used this in her speech at the end of it, and he always would say, well, they expect, and he'd go, those who expect nothing
shall not be deceived. Yep.
or his
He
famous
got that, he liked it because
Yeah.
Jerry Reed is
yeah,
the one that come
he
up.
loved it, and he would say, a wise man changes his mind. A fool never does.
Never does.
But he had all kind of little sayings.
Somebody had asked if Aunt Gladys had lived, would Elvis be different, or would he have
Lived longer.
lived longer? It's a tough question, it really is, but it's a good one, and the best I can answer is that when she was alive and all, I think, she they had talked about grandkids, and, she said, son, if you want to, get married and all, be sure, that's the one you care about and all, and don't worry about, the money or the home here. She said, you've got enough money now, that we can live here comfortably, and you can continue on with your career and all that. And I think Elvis probably would have. I don't think he'd have been in a big hurry to get married.
No.
Although I think probably he would have. I don't know. I couldn't imagine when. I think she would have. She loved Anita, and she actually thought Elvis and Anita might get married, and of course, if he had lived, she had lived, and all he may have, who knows?
You can't.
You can't answer that, because only Elvis, can answer that, and he's not here, So, but I don't think he would have gotten married as soon as he did, or maybe, I don't know, maybe he would have. That's something like. But I think Aunt Gladys would have. I think she would have,
Had a big influence.
loved Priscilla, because Elvis did, and I think she would have, that was her way, she was a caring, and like Elvis, she was caring and loving, and so the best of my knowledge is I don't think he would, even if she had lived, I don't think he would have rushed into it. Not as long as his career, was going like it was, and he was getting bigger and bigger all the time. So
As long as he was happy, that's all.
that's all she cared about, as long as he was happy. But she was a wonderful woman, and very intelligent. She drank a little bit, but I never saw her drunk. Never.
I never heard any stories about it either.
Yeah.
Never heard anything.
No.
I never met her. I came along, after she had passed.
Yeah.
But I never heard any stories or anything told about her. Only good things.
Yeah.
But her temper I
Yeah,
heard,
now she
I
had
heard a
a-
lot about her
Oh,
temper.
yeah, she had a temper, and I know that's where Elvis got his from, you know. Of course, it took a whole lot to set her off. But what you did, you knew definitely you had, you know,
Mm.
had done something or something had happened, you know. But I think Gladys was just, she was like Elvis. She was always, you know, laughing and carrying on. And I guess that the fact that Elvis got his, like, from both sides. His daddy was he was a person, you know, he laughed a lot, you know, just a lot of crazy things.
He was always cutting up.
And he
Okay.
was always cutting up, and, you know, so Elvis, you know, he had that sense of humor, just like both of his parents.
Everybody kind of considered, or I thought about Uncle Vernon as being like a miser or, you know, penny pinching something. He remembered.
He was.
Yeah, he was. But he was.
You got to know why he was.
Yeah,
It's because
he remembered
you know,
the old days.
Days, you know, they were coming up and all that, and, you know.
But a very,
he
very
was
nice
protecting, you know, Elvis's
Elvis.
interest, is the way he looked at it, and, you know,
And
the
he
more
was
Elvis
funny.
spent, you know, the more Uncle Vernon thought, you know, gosh, son, you know, we'll be out here in poverty if you keep going like you're going. Yeah. That was his way he was thinking, you know, and
He,
but him and Aunt Gladys were, you know, they were two really
they were
kind
close.
and loving people, and, you know, both of them had their own different ways. And, so, but best I, you know, tell you is, you know, if you had to meet a nicer couple back when they were together,
Yeah.
you couldn't. They was, you know, they was just both of them so likable.
Your Uncle Vernon had a great sense of humor.
Oh yes.
I think
so did
Elvis-
Aunt Gladys.
Yeah, she.
Both of
From
them
what
did,
your mom,
you know.
yeah, from everything I've heard, but I think Elvis had a lot like Vernon's sense of humor.
Mm.
Things were just funny to him. He was funny as he could be. We had a question that said, "Did your mother and your Aunt Gladys get along?"
Yes.
They did. They
Got along good.
your mama used to tell me stories about Gladys and Cletus and Lavelle and all your daddy's sisters and aunts. One that sticks out in my mind, and I laughed. She said Gladys was in the hospital. You know what I'm going to say?
Yeah.
She said
I know
Gladys
exactly
was in the
what you're gonna
hospital,
talk about.
and she had called and told Cletus, St. Cletus, who was Patsy's mother and Vester's wife, and Billy's mother, who was Travis's, her brother's wife, to bring her some food up to the hospital. She wanted them to bring her some turnip greens.
Oh my
So
God.
she said we cooked them and got them ready. She said when we got to the hospital, she said they had changed the
System.
system
They
of
no
the
longer
elevator.
had
They no longer had the boy.
What they called them? Bellboys.
The
Bell
boy
boy.
that ran the elevator. I don't know what you call
Right,
it.
exactly what you
But she said we didn't know how to operate it. So she said we got
push button
into
in, you know.
we got into the elevator, and she said we were watching. She said we had a. She said I had a bowl carrying it, and it was covered. And she said we got in, and somebody got in. We went all the way up. She said.
Whatever floor it stopped on.
Yeah, she said, and we,
they thought, you know, that would be the floor, so
Yeah.
they'd get off and then go to the desk and ask, you know, no,
that's not
on our floor. And so, you know,
she said we'd get back
get
on.
back on, go back
all
down.
the way to the lobby. She said we finally. She said we were on that thing for I know an hour. She said
Going up
and down, up and down, up and down. She said when she said this, I just about died. She said grease started forming on the top of the turnip greens where they had put. She called
and it would.
yeah, she called it fatback that they had put in the turnip greens to cook them. She said the grease started forming. She said finally we got to watching, and she said they would push a number. So we figured out
Finally.
finally, she said after about an hour to push the button that went with the floor we wanted to get on. So she said, we finally did, and we got out, we asked. And she said, when we went to the desk that time and asked, yes, this is the floor. She said, we felt like two fools. But you'd have to know Billy's mother and his Aunt Cletus.
I was gonna say I could see Mama Smith though.
Mama Smith. That was the funniest woman and the nicest. But she was, you could, just the way she rolled her eyes, she had big eyes like Billy. And she would roll her eyes when she told something, and the expression she would get was hilarious. But she told about that. She said, time we got to the room, she said, turnip greens was cold. And,
I guess they were.
Yeah. But anyway, they took them up there. But I don't know if she didn't say if she ate them or not.
I don't think so with the
cold
lard
greens.
on top. But
They could do some crazy
some
stuff.
crazy things, you know.
That whole family, it could have been a movie about them. They were just hilarious. The whole family was just hilarious. There's little stories that you could go on and on. It's like Vernon, trying to get the dogs away from him, and the ham slipped.
No, it wasn't the dogs.
The turkey.
The turkey jumped him.
Right.
Bowtie jumped him.
And Bowtie jumped him, and he was fighting him off, and the ham slipped out of his hand, and it went over in the dog yard. And
I think we told about
we
that.
have told, but it's just little stories like that, and just crazy things. That's so funny, and that's why Billy. I guess that's one thing. While I was attracted to him because he's just funny. Just his expressions are funny or whatever. Elvis always thought he was hilarious. I know we went to the movie one night, and I don't know what it was. Billy's knee had been hurting. He got it hurt. Really got it hurt before we went to Hawaii, but then during the football game and all that, you have to tell about that. But he fell over. Elvis got down on his knees, and Billy fell over him and hurt his knee again. And it was after we came back, and Billy had to be in a cast for a while. And we were at the movie one night, and Elvis was saying things and laughing, and Billy wasn't saying anything. And Elvis said, "Okay, that's it." He said, "If you're not going to say anything or laugh, let's just go."
And we did. But we had, some exciting times.
But most of the time, it was always laughing. Everybody said, "Oh, poor Elvis is, was his life gloomy like that?" No, not to me. It was.
No.
We were laughing constantly. It was something. He was funny, and it was something going on all the time, just crazy stuff, and we just laughed. It was just. We had fun. We
he had mood swings
yeah.
every once in a while, but it was more fun and
more fun
than
times
it was,
than
down
sad
and out,
times.
type stuff. So.
Especially when Linda was there. To me, that was some of the best times we had when Linda Thompson was there. She was funny too, and she had a sense of humor that was unreal. And they just kind of clicked, and he knew what when they knew their little deals, saying things, and we just had a good time. A lot of times up in his room when we'd go up there, we didn't have to. We just knew what the other person was going to say or think, and we would just feed off of each other, and it was just it was a fun time.
But that's the way it was with the guys, and
yeah.
We were always carrying on doing something, and all that.
It was like you had your own little language or something that y'all knew exactly what the other one was thinking, and y'all were that close.
Yeah.
All the guys were close like that.
But I think with that,
Yep.
we'll say thank y'all for watching, and Elvis fans matter.
They sure do.